It's a long day.
It is. Okay.
You should just bring Aoife down just so she can get to the little clap.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Right. Is it me this time?
I think so.
Okay.
Even if it wasn't, it is now.
So, hey, and welcome back to Coffee Not Found. This week we're going to be talking about some examples of gamification used in real life. Some to change behaviour of people in the public for the better, and then just to kind of make more menial tasks fun for people. And a lot of them I found so far have been from the Fun Theory, which is an initiative that Volkswagen set up. So there'll be a lot of the Fun Theory.
Yes.
Because they seem to have done quite a lot of them.
Yeah. I think a lot of it goes back to 2013, so it's a bit older at this point.
Older.
But yeah. It's still... It was funny because we were thinking, okay, we need to do a topic on this. And I was like, here's loads of videos that I've seen over the years. And then it turned out, they're all from the Fun Theory. So, wow, okay. They were pretty potent or prolific.
Yeah, if you look up sort of examples of experimental gamification and stuff like that on YouTube or anything, you get a lot of Fun Theory videos.
Yeah.
So
maybe they'll come over and allow us to make a few with our Arduino expertise. We'll be like, woo! Cool. Okay, so the first one on the list is Activate Street Pong.
Yeah, that was quite a viral video, actually. The first video went really viral because it was of a crossroads with traffic lights. So you were waiting at a pedestrian crossing, and you could the concept was that you walked up to where you'd press the button and there'd be a touch screen, and you could play Pong with somebody else the other side of the road while the counter went down for you to cross the road. And I think the original video was just superimposed on on a box on a lamppost, but they did go on to release a prototype, and I think it was in Sweden or Germany. I'm not sure.
Okay. There's that Sweden again.
Yeah, there's a lot. A lot of them were actually done in Sweden. There's a lot going on in Stockholm with that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so they started out as just a concept, and then they actually ended up building a startup company off the back of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So which was Urban Inventions, and they went on from there to make other products. The Pong, I believe, is still a prototype at the minute. There was one city that implemented it and invested in it, which was kind of cool, and that was the real working prototype then, and they'd done quite a lot of testing on it, and I think that it reduced the amount of jaywalkers greatly. It went from like 66 to 11 that day.
Oh, right.
So it was like the previous days they calculated would be about 66 people, and I think it was 11 or somewhere around that number that it was on that day, because everybody was just more interested in waiting the time. Might as well wait the time while you have something to do.
Yeah,
so
true.
it's to sort of reduce the pedestrian jaywalker sort of statistics, I guess.
I suppose, it works if you've a small, not so busy crossing.
Yeah.
If it's a really busy, there'll be maybe ructions over who gets to use it.
Yeah.
Or if you're really, I'm just imagining, if Heather was there, Heather has a bit of a competitiveness about her,
just
particularly
stay
at the board game. She kind of just keep defending her high score all day long, and you'd be like, no, that's not how it's supposed to work. But okay, it's kind of it's a clever idea. It's a good use of something that is quite boring.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm not preempting other ones you've got, but I do remember seeing another another pedestrian crossing one.
No, that's the only one I have. I think
they had it's obviously it's a popular one to gamify. The stop man was animated, so he'd stop and then he'd start to dance.
Oh, okay.
And he'd
so
do all
and
you could see people. They'd everyone stop and go, oh my god, and literally everyone was just stopped going, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, after your second day of using the pedestrian crossing, you probably like, it's him again.
Yeah.
But it did work. It had a bit of an impact, and it's just such a simple thing, But
stop people from running out in front of cars.
It's a noble pursuit. Noble pursuit. As a driver, I totally agree with that. And as somebody who plays Pokemon Go and nearly walks out in front of cars occasionally, I also support the not jaywalking.
It'd be cool if you could integrate that with pedestrian crossings.
Pokemon Go, they're only catchable if you stay still. Cool. Okay, the next one then, Space Invaders.
Yeah, this was done for 605 in Depeche Mode in... What's the name of the place? Beirut, yeah. So they're a fashion outlet. Actually, I assumed they were a game store it just looked like a game store when this was in the window, but they did a sort of motion tracking game where you could play Space Invaders in the window. And so you had the aliens on the window, and as you moved, your character moved up and down. And I think if you raised your arm up, it shot, or if you jumped, it shot. So I caught a lot of people's attention because like you'd be walking by the window and it'd follow you. So you'd come back to see what was that, and then you'd start playing the game. And yeah, it was quite a cool concept. I think it would have brought a lot of business anyway that day. I think it was only set up for a day, I'm not sure. And it was Nancy Ackle or Nancy AKL. I'm not sure if that's just an abbreviation for a second name, but she came up with the concept and design.
Okay.
And there was a good few developers and stuff working on it. So,
jeez, for a day's project, like we always build them for like long term, and they're like, it's just a day.
I think it was just a day anyway. It could have been ran again, but most of these seem to be like these experimental ones seem to be very one off. Like
that's I wouldn't mind a good game of Space Invaders, but I do imagine like someone, if it was jumping to like shoot, like it just, you'd eventually be like, do you know what? I'll just buy Space Invaders.
Yeah, I think you could do both, because I've seen people jumping in the video and it shot, but that could just be to do with the motion tracking. Like it might think that
could be like the Wii
motion,
where you can bowl just by doing that in the couch.
Yeah,
they were like, I can just do this and it shoots now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, that's cool. Interesting. Okay, now we're on to the fun theory. This is an initiative that didn't involve gassing monkeys. Poor Ryan was really confused by that today in the office. Yeah. Okay, so fun theory, shopping carts.
Yeah, this is a really cool one, and I wish they had them everywhere, to be honest. I do know of them being in other places. It wasn't just part of this, but I know people who people who got shopping carts, like old ones from stores, and did this, but they attached skateboards to the back of shopping carts so that they could be steered and you could stand on the back of your shopping cart and skate around. And it was quite an interesting one. The videos are quite cool. The whole idea was just to kind of bring a bit more fun to wandering around the shops, like lugging a cart around the place. You could actually skate around, and you could skate all the way out into the car park, into your car. And it was really just sort of a gamifying a mundane task to, I suppose, promote their business. It was done for Fastlane, which was like a campaign of Volkswagen, but it also brought Fun Theory in to do it, and that was sort of to market, I think it was the Polo that was out at the time or something. It was their thing. It was like a promotion for people who live life in the fast lane or whatever, which is pretty good idea.
That'd be neat, all right. Even in my 30s, I've nearly gotten kicked out of B&Q for going
skating
along in a
around
trolley.
On the back of the trolley.
So I can, if they were actually making it allowable, that would be great. I'd be well set. Okay, the speed camera lottery. Okay. Yeah,
this is quite interesting. It was a guy called Kevin Richardson from the US. He came up with the concept and he won a Fun Theory award, and I think that's why it was implemented. I think it was Stockholm. It was set up in Stockholm in Sweden, and it was a regular speed camera that took photos of people speeding, but and quite a busy area. I think that the speed limit was in around 30 kilometers an hour, so you do have to stay slow, otherwise you would cause an accident. Or it could have been 25 actually, but I know they got the speed down to an average of 25, and the average that was there before was 32. So people were going over the speed limit most of the time there. And so if you were caught speeding, obviously your photo was taken like a normal speed camera of the car, and then you were issued a citation and fined. But the fine money got put into a pot, and the drivers who didn't speed had a chance to win money from the pot. So which is pretty cool, I thought. Clever. Yeah, so there's a couple of people did win, and they did some interviews of people going by, but generally brought the speed down like altogether that day. yeah, a lot of people kind of got involved in that one. I'm sure there was a couple of people who drove around a few times.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think the congestion might have gone up.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering how you communicated to people that the lottery was on.
There was there was a big board, and it said, like, around the camera there was a lottery, and it showed your speed, and I think it went red when you were going over and green when you were under.
It rewards good behavior as opposed to punishing bad behavior, which is a much better way of gamifying something in the first place, is rewarding good behavior.
That was sort of use gamification to stop people breaking the law on the road. It was done in conjunction with Sweden's Road Safety Authority, or Road Safety Association, I think.
So the average speed before the experiment was 32 kilometers. The average speed during was 25, 2% reduction in speed. Nice one. Very good return. Okay, piano stairs. This is the first one I knew of, and obviously from 2009 it would have been an old one anyway.
Yeah.
So that was it was a subway station, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Well, you've done more of the research. I just remember the video.
Odenplan, I think it was called. I'm not Swedish.
Odenplan,
so I probably will pronounce a lot of things wrong. A lot of things being Swedish in this episode.
We really need to get Heather in for the translations.
In a subway station, they had obviously, like most subway stations, you have stairs and escalators, and they wanted to try and see if they could make the stairs more fun to get more people to use the stairs, and then promoting health, obviously. And so they covered the stairs in they're like pressure strips, and then put like plating on top of them, and they were turned into like keys of a piano. So every time you stepped on the step, it made a note, and they were obviously the same notes that you get on the piano. And I think 66% more people used the stairs during the campaign, which is pretty decent return for that, like, considering.
It is, yeah.
And just then again, like, people don't really think about. I've seen videos of colleges and stuff doing similar things, like adapting fun theory to what they want to do, and I've done stuff like turn stairs into doodle jump. And like their one was quite simple. I was like just putting stickers on the stairs, and I think doodle jump was massive at the time, so there were people just recognised the blue and the green things to step on, so everyone was running up the stairs trying to keep on the colours.
Oh, okay.
And it was just a fun version. I think like a study for some research paper or whatever they did.
Okay.
And it just turned this stairs into a piano, and people had quite a lot of fun on it. I could see people bringing their kids up and down it. In the beginning, there's one elderly lady, and she's going over to the escalator, and she just takes a look at the stairs and then starts going up them. So you can see people changing their minds to go back over them, or if there's nobody around, somebody starts playing a song. It's quite funny. You see when there's a whole group of people going down, it just sounds like madness.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's probably not great for noise pollution, but it's a clever one. I have to assume whoever came up with it just saw the movie Big the night before. Is it Big? Tom Hanks?
I'm not sure.
Oh, dude. I keep forgetting the age difference in people in my office. Oh. People were going to watch... where are they going to watch?
Instead of board game night, we should start having a movie.
I was going to alternate between the two, but then everybody, nobody has cars, so everybody has to go for trains or buses. There was... what's your man's name? Because it was a remake himself, Richard Pryor, Brewsters Millions.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Seen that? Yeah. Okay, all right, thank God. Because most people in the office haven't seen that.
Anything with John Candy featured in it, I've seen.
Oh, okay, all right, that's okay. That's not so bad.
My dad's a big John Candy fan.
Okay, then at least we've got some... God, you had to add my dad's a big...
Well, he's the one who got me into him.
Okay, well, to be fair, it came out... I watched reruns of it. I didn't watch the original. That's okay.
I'm not trying to make you look old.
But Big is Tom Hanks is a 13-year-old kid, but he wishes on the Zorg machine, this fortune teller machine, which is in a lot of other movies. They take the piss out of the Zorg machine, like this kind of holding a globe and you make a wish. And he wishes that he could be a grown-up or something along those lines. But anyway, he ends up working in a toy shop or toy company. And they have this giant piano on the ground, just laid out, and he ends up playing chopsticks with another character in the movie. And I just thought, they have to have been
because I know they've been around. I've seen them on floors and stuff.
Because
I don't know, some shopping centres and did a bridge. I think one of their glass bridges they put keys over.
Okay, well, I suppose it's a good that or a xylophone, something like that you can just create music with. Bottle Bank Arcade.
Yeah, this is quite a simple concept, but did quite well, I think, for sort of keeping the environment clean. They It was basically just must be motion sensors anyway, or some sort of sensors. So they built a bottle bank, and all the holes had lights over them to put your bottles in. And there's a button on it. You press start, and there was a board for points. And every time a light showed up, you had to put your bottle through that hole, and you collected points throughout the day. And I think it was just like a community thing to see how many points you could collect. And I'm not sure of the statistics without looking at it. It was done in 2009, so it's old enough. And so during the same period, people used the ordinary bottle bank nearby was used twice, and theirs was used by almost 100 people.
Okay, so definitely something was being done right. Yeah. At least I'm presuming over there then as well, that wherever it was run, they didn't separate out the glass colours, because you couldn't do that in an Irish bottle bank because you actually have to pick the colour.
Yeah.
So it would actually encourage you not to hit the right ones. So
I really like the machines in Germany in the shops where you bring your bottles back and you get money back.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so
this is the 5 cent on return kind of bottle setup.
Yeah. So you bring your bottles back in a crate, and you can tell from when you see glass bottles, you can tell they've been used before. They're obviously extremely cleaned, but you can see where there would have been like a lip on a bottle and where that's worn out from the cleaning machine or whatever, going in and out of bottle cases. But yeah, bottles last forever, really. Once they're kept clean and you don't smash them.
That's true. Yeah, because there is a backlash at the moment to all the packaging. So, now the bottle banks, were they just smashing bottle banks though? They were ones where you just chucked them in. Yeah.
So that was obviously just being smelted and reused again.
Yeah, which also a noble cause.
Yeah.
And the world's deepest bin.
Yes, similar to the bottle bank, only it was just quite a funny interaction between people and a bin. So they've set up a bin with a motion sensor in the top of it and a speaker. So when you dropped something into it, it sounded like it was falling forever. So it had that whistle noise, like in cartoons. Yeah. And it just went on, and so people just started putting their rubbish in there all day. It was set up in a park, and as people were going by, some people were put rubbish in to see what it would do, and didn't know what was going on with it. Just you could see people's faces, but it's similar to the bottle bank situation, just kind of making something a bit more fun and gamifying it to get people to, have good behaviour, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. It's sort of rewarding good behaviour instead of punishing for bad, I suppose.
Yeah. So the kind of thing, you could definitely you could do something similar at the moment with the kind of push towards bottles, reusable water bottles. So we're not using plastic bottles for water.
Because you're only supposed to reuse a water bottle for so long and stuff like that. Plastic, because it breaks down and everything.
The ones you just get, the disposable water bottles, they're
no, I don't mean the ones you buy. They're completely different. But
there's as well, because China stopped accepting it as recycling material all of a sudden in the last year or this year. So there's nowhere to recycle it. The most, there's very, very few places left. So they're kind of saying, look, we need to change this. And what was it? Every fish caught or something has traces of plastic in it and stuff, which means when you're consuming it, you're getting plastic. So, no, I can understand. As someone who drinks a lot of water, I can kind of understand the benefit of it. And you could definitely gamify that. The trick with gamifying an experience like that, and it's the same with all these things here. Piano looks great for a day or two.
Yeah.
If you're regularly commuting, you're not going to be you'll be like, oh, not that noise again.
Somebody on the piano.
Or if you do...
But move it around, I guess.
Move it around, to inspire people. But it's a question of whether it creates lasting change in behaviour. Yeah. So
these are more experimental campaigns at the end of the day.
The speed camera one has the potential to be rolled out anywhere because
a particularly bad road.
There's a thing with speed cameras where the whole because I don't agree the totality. This thing where if you break a rule, you're definitely going to get done. It's again, going back to a movie that I often refer back to, Demolition Man, you've been fined 4 credits for violation of the Verbal Morality Act. Everything you say is tied to you because of your chip in your hand and whatever else. But if you're saying to people, look, be a dangerous driver or whatever, but if you're not and you're actually driving, now they should have it that if you drive at the safe limits. In other words, if someone starts going, I'm just going to drive 10 kilometers an hour and they drive back up traffic, that always punishes them. But like,
there could actually have been, it was set up for speeding. I can imagine if the people were literally crawling by that, they probably got a citation for dangerous driving
as well. Yeah, but like, it's a nice way of saying, you know what? Here's a reward for being good today. That has long-term impact, I think. Again, the window space invaders, you can move it around. That's a nice way of just bringing people in, and it works for all kinds of things.
We roll out in a couple of shops, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Gamifying the bottle banks is so easy because, I mean, you could easily have a community bottle off, where you're pitching Drogheda versus Dublin, or
that's actually like have a competition.
But like, if you bring a competition into it, then it's something.
Yeah.
Where's the cycling ladies? How come that didn't get mentioned?
Oh yeah, I assumed you'd just talk about that one because you knew most about it. I didn't put it in.
I still don't know what they were advertising, which is probably a bad sign for the actual purpose of it. But it was on TV because I know they ran it on TV, and it was a YouTube ad they ran. I think it was run as a YouTube ad first, or something.
Done in France, anyway.
Done in France, yeah. But basically, they had a load of bikes left out.
It was water, I think.
It was water, was it?
Yeah, because they had water bottles beside them, and they picked it up and drank out of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And like, they were basically, the ladies were, well, it was all ladies at the time, were cycling, and as you cycled, it powered an LED model on the wall, and it was like it was a guy basically pulling a striptease, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And like they were here like cycling like crazy near the end to go, what do we see? What do we see?
Yeah. That was quite well done, actually.
It was
I really enjoyed
well
the fact that they like the power lines glowed the whole way up, and like the bikes, they would all worked very well together with the pink bikes. And
what was it you saw the comment in if it was an overweight guy from
it was it was basically saying thanks again for fat shaming men, because if it was an overweight guy and I think it was some actor's name with these features, then they probably wouldn't have cycled as much. And some guy underneath just said, "You don't get invited to many parties, do you?"
I thought
that was like the top interaction on that video.
Yeah, but I remember saying it was just one of those movies because again, it's a dark setting and these really bright lights lighting up the wall. It went really well. And then there was one again. It's gamification more so for a TV setting. Was it was a good few years ago now. But Stephen Fry set up a giant game, and basically they were playing on like giant controllers, and they basically projected up onto the side of an old building. But for the life of me, I cannot remember what game it was they did, and I've searched YouTube and I can't find a link to it. So it's obviously like it was on TV. Normally, if it's on TV, someone's put it on YouTube, but I'm obviously not searching with the right terms. And if someone figures it out, they can maybe leave a note. But it was really well done.
If you find it, it'd be interesting to see.
Colin misses that show. I don't even know what that show was.
It was cool seeing that on the Twitch stream. They had two streamers come on to promote Rampage, to release the film, and they played the old arcade game Rampage, but on a really big oversized controller. So like the guy had to use like his whole body to move the analog stick, and the girl who was with him, she had to jump on the buttons to jump and punch, and they had to like destroy all the buildings and get through the game. It looked really difficult. I think that you have to, once you die, you go back to the very beginning, and there's something like 80 levels or something. Yeah,
I had it for the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. If not, it must have been either that or one of the older consoles. I have to assume it was the Commodore 64 since I played it a few times, and that was what I had. But
could have been a couple of releases of it.
Oh, there probably was. Yeah. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. I've already yawned once today, so if I yawn again on the thing, I'll put people to sleep.
Yeah. All right. Well, sure. I think that's.
Yeah, I think we've stayed on topic for a change. We've
stayed relatively close topic. Yeah. I'm gonna start putting like Colin's tangents as like a tag that comes up every now and then, because you're always like, oh, I remember this film or this game, and it's just like
yeah.
Well, they're generally quite relevant to what we're talking about, in fairness.
I hope so. I just feel like I'm the old guy in the corner going, in my day, I remember whatever. And it's like, Brewsters Millions, oh, what a movie. And it's like, yeah, it wasn't even
No, it's a good movie.
It is a good movie. And
I have a John Candy box set at home with like all of his
really
best
good
movies
stuff.
and stuff. Yeah, so like I think the first thing I ever seen him in was Uncle Buck, and that was just classic.
That's the one with the steak eating competition and a few other bits, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's Great Outdoors.
Great Outdoors.
Yeah, that's got Dan Aykroyd in that one.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's definitely off topic, that one.
I think so, yeah. And I accept full responsibility for that one. That's me. Cool. Okay, well then we'll close it now before I do it again. This has been Coffee Not Found. Follow us on the social media, on Twitter, CoffeeNF, on Facebook and Instagram as CoffeeNF Podcast, on YouTube,
Coffee Not
Found. And on the web, coffeenotfound.com.
Yeah. And I'll put links to that in the description.
And watch Brewsters Millions.